जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवर धारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवर धारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन यमुना तीरावनचारि यमुना तीरावनचारि यमुना तीरा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी कुंज बिहारी जय ओम विश्वपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्रोतर श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन बीवीटी फाउंडर आचार्य शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विश्वपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य श्रोतर श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से गौ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees, ऑल ग्लोरीज ऑल ग्लोरीज ऑल ग्लोरीज श्री गुरु एंड श्री गौरांग, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रील प्रभुपाद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 10 चैप्टर 2 वर्स नंबर 15। गर्भे प्रणीते देवक्या रोहिणीं योगनिद्रया अहो विश्रंसितो गर्भ इति पौराविचु कृशो। गर्भे प्रणीते देवक्या रोहिणीं योगनिद्रया अहो विश्रमस्तो गर्भ इति पौरो विचुकृषु। गर्भे प्रणीते देवक्या रोहिणीं योगनिद्रया अहो विश्रमिष्यतो गर्भ iti paura vichukrushu. Garbe pranite devakya rohinim yoga nidraya aho vishramishito garbha iti paura vichukrishu. When the child of Devaki was attracted and transferred into the womb of Rohini by Yogamaya, Devaki seemed to have a miscarriage. Thus all the inhabitants of the palace loudly lamented, "Alas, Devaki has lost a child." Purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. All the inhabitants of the palace includes Kamsa. When everyone lamented, Kamsa joined in compassion, thinking that perhaps because of drugs or some external means, Devaki had undergone this abortion. The real story of what happened after Yogamaya attracted the child of Devaki into the womb of Rohini in the 7th month of Rohini's pregnancy is described as follows in Harivamsha. At midnight, while Rohini was deeply sleeping, she experienced, as if in a dream, that she had undergone a miscarriage. After some time, when she awoke, she saw that this had indeed happened, and she was in great anxiety. But Yogamaya then informed her, "O auspicious lady, your child is now being replaced. I am attracting a child from the womb of Devaki, and therefore your child will be known as Sankarshana." The word Yoga Nidra is significant. When one is spiritually reconnected through self-realization, one regards his material life as having been like a dream, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 269. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagarti samyami. Yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato mune. What is night for all beings is time of awakening for the self-controlled, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. The stage of self-realization is called Yoga Nidra. All material activities appear to be a dream when one is spiritually awakened. Thus, Yoga Nidra may be explained to be Yoga Maya. Om Jnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Desha Tarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam pangul langayati grimyat kipatam mande Shri Guru Dinataran. Vancha kalpatresha kapa sindhu cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namah. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-controlled. So, we have reached to the chapter where Devaki is on her 7th child. And this child is now getting transferred from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb. And this mystery is resolved in Harivamsha, like Prabhupada is mentioning. Just a second. And hence, we need the Acharya's commentaries to actually let us know that what is actually happening. One might say that it is not given in Bhagavatam, then how are you claiming that it is true? But the point is that the acharyas know the heart of the Lord. The acharyas know what is it meant for. Like the Bhagavad Gita, whatever Krishna wants to say is given in the purport by the Lord, by Prabhupada himself. One might say that, oh, those things are not in the, translation, and then why is Prabhupada adding bhakti and everything over there? But the point is that the pure devotee of the Lord, who's closest to the heart of Krishna, will know what Krishna wants to say actually. That's the secret. Because Krishna says that you can know this knowledge, you can know me through my bona fide representative. Why a representative? Because he knows clearly what Krishna wants. And that's why if we go about and try to translate Bhagavad Gita word by word in Sanskrit, it is not actually going to give us benefit. Because actually somebody did that after Prabhupada left. Somebody actually went and did word for word translation according to what Sanskrit says directly. And he was never to be found again. He was never to be found. So, following the Acharya is so important. And that's why when our Acharyas, specifically the Goswamis and the ones in the Gaudiya line, they specify all these narrations, they are actually churning the whole Shastras. Nana Shastra Vicharuno. Yes, all the Goswamis have churned the Shastras to bring out the essence, to give us what is required to go back home, back to Godhead. And that's why to have faith in the Acharya is really an important aspect in a spiritual life. So, and hence that's why it is said that over here the Yoga Nidra is referred to as Yoga Maya. Now, as a person who doesn't know anything, I would be like, oh no, it doesn't say that. But that is not how it works. Yes. It will be revealed how it is, what it is and why is it that way. If we continue doing our bhakti. For example, when a person actually starts working for a company, his manager tells him that, like do this, do that. And he doesn't know why he is doing that. He's doubting that, does this even work? You're giving me something which is not even important. But the point is that if he has trust, if he has faith, he'll see after 2 years or 3 years or 4 years that, oh, those things which I did actually are helping me today. Yes, because the manager knows, he's gone through the process. A good manager will know that. Correct? So the point is that we at our stage might not know why these things are being said like this and that. But the Acharyas have given all this information, all this knowledge, all this Krishna Katha, yes, by referring to the Shastras only. Yes, by referring to the Shastras only. And like we said last time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and reveals Braja Krishna. He reveals that Krishna which is just, Kishora Kishori. He's not Bala Krishna, he's not Mathura Krishna, he's not Dwarka Krishna. Yes, he is the one who is with Srimati Radharani, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari. He is that Krishna which is getting revealed by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is revealing all this in the hearts of Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. Yes. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. The heart of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is only known by Rupa Goswami. And Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself says that. In one of the pastimes, when Mahaprabhu is dancing in Jagannath Puri for Rath Yatra and Rupa Goswami is present. And Mahaprabhu says something, which is not, locally speaking, it might be just, some kind of movie music, some kind of mundane music. He's actually quoting some lines from that paragraph. And nobody is able to understand. And everybody is like, why is he saying this? Maybe it's one of his ecstasies and all that. So, Rupa Goswami actually when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to Haridas Thakur and all, he actually sees a piece of paper put into the thatched roof, and he actually picks that out and he reads it, and he gets to know that Rupa Goswami has written that, and he gets very amazed that how is it that Rupa has understood the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's actually shocked that how can somebody know this? Only I know this, and nobody else knows this. And he actually reveals that Rupa Goswami is so intelligent that he got to know what is in my heart. And then everybody mentioned it's because you have actually put your mercy, put your causeless mercy on him. You have showered your causeless blessings and mercy on Sri Rupa Goswami so that he can actually reveal to the whole world what is in the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes. Over here, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is revealing that yes, this is what is in my heart. And hence, that's why when Srila Prabhupada also wrote his Bhagavad Gita, gave purpose or Bhaktivedanta purpose, he's revealing the heart of Krishna, he's revealing the heart of the Goswamis, he's revealing the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that's why he mentions that his books are his devotional ecstasies. Yes, we are so much indebted to his purports, to his lectures. Yesterday I was just searching Prema Pumarto Mahan, that line. Like I've heard it somewhere, it was just coming in my mind. Prema Pumarto Mahan. And it was quoted by Srila Prabhupada so many times in his letters, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he mentions every single time, it is useless. If you have everything, but you don't have love of Godhead, it is useless. Prema Pumarto Mahan. Everywhere he would use that line. And I've heard it from, I think, Radhanath Maharaj's classes, that he also uses that a lot because Srila Prabhupada uses it so many times. And that line actually means I don't know where it is from, because it doesn't give a reference. It is not in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's not in the Bhagavatam. Maybe it's some other place, but the reference is not given, and maybe I have to search more. But I was like now it's like, oh, if Prabhupada has said it, oh, it has to be true. Because that is the real essence. That sarva dharmana parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja aham tam sarva papebhyo moksheshami masucha. Here Krishna is demanding you give up, surrender all varieties of it, and come and take shelter. But what is the highest surrender? The surrender of the gopis. Yes, the surrender of the gopis, which is in the Bhagavatam. And the dealings of Vaishnavas in that surrender is given in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Chaitanya Charitamrita. And from there, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning Prema Pumarto Mahan. So, all these things are so interconnected. And when Srila Prabhupada gives in his purports any references, like over here is mentioning that, the word Yoga Nidra is significant. When one is spiritually reconnected through self-realization, one regards his material life as having been in a dream. Yes? So, usually when I first read this Bhagavad Gita shlok, what is night for, living beings is the time for awakening for the self-realized. So, somebody had mentioned that, oh, that's why, we get up early in the morning and then, the materialists sleep, they party all night, and then we are sleeping at that time, then our senses are taking rest. And this is the literal way of looking at it. Yes. But over here Prabhupada is mentioning a different way. When one is spiritually reconnected through self-realization, one regards his material life as having been like a dream. Yes, that means what? That the materialists consider this body as their life and soul. Yes, yes. Which is the shloka? Where we consider the body as our life and soul in Bhagavad Gita. But I forgot. The point is that because they are considering the body as their life and soul, everything attached to the body is real. But once we understand that we are not the body, that this is anyways going to be taken from us, there is less anxiety. There is less sadness. There is less depression. Why? Because you are not the body anyways. It's anyways going to be taken away. Then why are you so worried about it? And that is what Krishna is telling in the second chapter of Gita, directly. This is the second chapter. That Arjuna, you're not the body, you're the soul. Dehinosmin yatha dehe. Yes. Ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Because of ahankar, he thinks that he is the doer. But he's not the doer. Everything is carried out by the modes of nature under the direction of the Lord. And so, when a self-realized person actually understands all this, he's actually awake. He's awake. He's awake to the soul. He's awake to his real desire. He's awake to Krishna consciousness. And that is what a person in self-realized condition does. It's not that, he materially he's getting up early, late, whatever that is. No, but spiritually, he's self-realized. Yes. One regards his material life to be having been a dream. And that's why when Prabhupada mentioned to one of his disciples, he was saying that when we go back home, back to Godhead, it's like a flickering dream, something happened. Something tragic happened and you woke up. It's like that. You don't remember. You just remember that, it wasn't that great. This dream wasn't great. And that's why, for us, what is waking up is being awake to Krishna consciousness. Is being awake to Krishna's mercy, to his devotee, to his books, to his kirtan. And following in his footsteps is our self-realization. Yes. The closer we come to following the Acharya, the closer we come to having faith in the Acharya, the closer we are to self-realization. Because that is self-realization. It was mentioned in Sunday feast and everything, because the cyber security and everything. It was mentioned that we have to be aware. Because why? Because there are cheaters out there, there are scammers out there. They might be looting us. And that is the real thing. That what is looting us is our own mind and false ego. That is the real cheating process. And I was listening to Haldar Maharaj's class yesterday. And he was mentioning that, who all do voice preaching, as IYF. ISKCON Youth Forum and everything. So who all does that? And he was pointing out to, everybody over here is doing that. And then he says that what do you guys tell, to the new people who come? How do you control the mind? And then he's like, I have read what you all say, that you say this and that and this and that. You should get up early, you should do this, you should not do this, you should not do that. And that's why after you control the mind, you can actually get good grades and everything. That is how you indirectly tell them, and then later on you introduce Krishna consciousness. And then Maharaj was mentioning that no, this is all bogus. It won't ever work. It will never work. The mind can never be in your control. It is not possible at all. You can never control the mind by artificial means. Param drishtva nivartate. The only ways you can control your mind is by Krishna consciousness. Yes, because the mind has to be beaten. Like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, when you get up in the morning, it has to be beaten so many times. And while sleeping, it has to be beaten again. But what does that beating mean? To be self-realized. Rather, at least approach self-realization, saying that this is not real. Whatever is happening to me right now is not real. All these feelings and all these emotions are actually not real. What is real is Krishna. And I have to focus on Krishna. That is reality. So Maharaj was mentioning, these artificial means of controlling the mind can never work. It will go on for some time, and later the mind is again going to be baffled. It's like you try meditation out, you try Zen meditation or this meditation and that meditation, and then you go internal, you focus, you do hypnotism, and so many things you do. But the day when something goes wrong, in our lives, or something bad happens, you might be able to sustain for some time, but after that, no, it's not possible, because you're still considering the body as you. Shri Radha Madhavari Bhagwan ki jai. Because you are still identifying with the body. You're still identifying that you are the body, and hence anything wrong with the body is something wrong. You can never actually be successful in actually being happy in this world without Krishna consciousness. That faith, that faith Srila Prabhupada gave. He challenged the scientists, he challenged every single person who was against Krishna consciousness. And that's why Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's one of the pranam mantras, he says, Apasiddhanta Dhvanta Harine. Apasiddhanta Dhvanta Harine. All these other siddhantas, which are not related to Krishna consciousness, which are against Krishna conscious principles, they're all been rejected. It can never work. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned, for all those philosophers, yes, he mentioned which levels were they at. But none of them could come close, because why? They did not have Krishna consciousness. They never understood, because that's why it is a descending process. Bhakti produces bhakti. Yes, it is not related to karma, it is not related to jnana. It's always related to bhakti. And that's why the bhakti will flow when we please. Yesterday there was this one funny thing which I was just searching for, because on Friday there is this Vaishnava etiquette, Vaishnava Sadachar lectures, right? They are going to start. And Nampriya Mataji had called and she's like, can you give the first class? And I'm like, I shouldn't be giving any of the Sadachar classes. It has nowhere near related to me. But it's like philosophy, yeah, it's like you're trying to practice, it's fine. But Sadachar and all is nowhere related. But she's like, no, it's fine, you should give. And that's why I was listening to one of the lectures, and then there was this one transcription of one of the classes and one of the questions. And the question was very, very nice. And I was amazed, because the question which this devotee asked was that if there is a junior, as in like if you've been in Krishna consciousness for 20 years and then somebody new comes in to the temple, like he's just 1 year into Krishna consciousness, but his realizations are so nice. Like we see so many devotees who come later, like so many devotees in our movement, in our temple, who have come later, but they have so much service attitude. They serve so nicely. Then how is it possible that I'm not even able, like being in Krishna consciousness, I'm not able to do it? And so the question was that if an advanced junior, like if the junior is doing so much nicely, then, and he has more realization than the senior, then what is the etiquette in that situation? What should he do? That does he become the senior? Or something like that. And then Maharaj was explaining, and he gave a whole nice thing, that if the junior is actually more self-realized, let's say, that then his self-realization would mean that he is following the authority even more. And that is a sign of actually being closer and advanced, that how much you're following authority. Why? Because he understands. He's understanding that Krishna is going to reciprocate with him either way. So it does not matter. It's not that he's trying to do it because he has some, ulterior motive. Oh, now that he speaks so nicely, that's why he has to become this position, and then he has to. No. If he's really self-realized, if he really is tasting Krishna consciousness, how does it matter in which position he is in? Instead, he would want to see how, as a collective thing, as a cooperative thing, we can do something good for Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj, rather than actually going against authority. That's never there. That's never there. And obviously, if there's exploitation and all, that's another issue. Then there is other ways of doing it. But it's always there. It's like, and then Maharaj mentioned that Srila Prabhupada, what he used to do is that if a manager, temple commander, whoever that is having a problem, and it's his problem, personal problem, it's his personal problem, it's not affecting the community, then he would let him be in that position. Because that service which he is doing, it is going to purify him. Yes, it is going to purify him. And that's why all these things are actually in relation to our waking up to self-realization, that the soul matters. It's not the body and the anarthas. That is the real self-realization. So we have to be very aware of all these things. Yes. And that's why Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that this Yoga Nidra in this case is Yoga Maya. We want to be in the care of Yoga Maya when we are in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Krishna.